Menopause affects half of all employees, so why don't we talk about it? Talking about the menopause is still a taboo subject. At Menopause Training Company, we want to change that. So we put together this short video to help you have that all-important conversation with your employer using a framework, which will help you to prepare what to say and how to structure your conversation, as well as how to keep the conversation going with your manager. Women do their very best to manage their own self-care through the menopause, but sadly the symptoms and the impact they can have don't stop in the workplace. And for many it can be a conversation that's not an easy one to have. You can feel embarrassed. You don't want to explain what's going on. You're not sure yourself what's happening. You don't want to be seen to be struggling. And there's a fear of being ridiculed. In this short video, we'd like to take you through how to take a deep breath and plan your conversation with your manager. But there's a few things we'd like you to do before you do that. So before you broach the topic, you can start by asking yourself 2 questions. What is the problem? And what does the other person think is the problem? This helps you to see it from your manager's point of view. Because here's the thing, there's a high possibility that your manager has no experience of the menopause or understands how it can affect employees like you in the workplace. Next, plan what you want to say by jotting down notes and key points before your conversation. Drafting a script, however, is a waste of time. It's very unlikely that it will go according to your plan. Your manager doesn't know their lines. So if you've prepared a script and they go off script, you can find yourself getting stuck. And this can be particularly tricky if you're suffering from brain fog. Make notes of how you're being affected and impacted, and think about what practical and reasonable adjustments would help you, and think about a time frame for the help that you'd like to. It may be that you need some help and also some flexibility for a short amount of time to help you through. We're now going to look at how you can outline your conversation with your manager, and we're going to break it down into 4 parts. I have a problem. This is how it's affecting me. This is how it's impacting my work. And here's what I need help with in order to improve my productivity within a suggested time frame. So let's have a look at the first part. I have a problem. Explain your situation clearly. Talk to your boss about your current situation and what's happening. It could be, I'm experiencing hot flushes because of my menopause, or I'm exhausted because of night sweats caused by my menopause. Then explain how it's affecting you. When I get these hot flushes, I'm so embarrassed. My clothes get soaked through and I look like I've stepped out of a sauna. Or because I'm so tired, I'm finding it difficult to think clearly. And then how it's impacting your work. When this happens, it means I'm spending time away from my desk and not being productive because I need to go and find somewhere to cool down. Or this means it's taking me much longer to make decisions, have confidence in my decisions, and get my tasks completed. This is the help that you would need. So offer your manager a solution. Think about how your situation could be improved and offer your manager that reasonable solution. So for example, if hot flushes are worse for you in the office, could you be provided with a fan or be moved nearer to a window? Have access to cold drinking water? If the office has air conditioning, could your desk be moved closer to it? If sleep is a problem with you, could you come into work later or work from home? Now you have an idea of what you'd like to say. We're sure you'd like it to sound conversational. So I've put something together to help you to do that. Thanks for making time to sit down with me. You know how important the product launch is and how important it is to me. But I'm really struggling to move forward. And part of the problem is, insert your issue in a professional and non-attacking way. I'd really like us to find a way for me to be as productive as possible. Now, I have a couple of ideas and would love to hear your thoughts. I'm experiencing hot flushes because of my menopause. And when I get these hot flushes, I'm so embarrassed. My clothes get soaked through and I look like I've stepped out of a sauna, which means I'm spending time away from my desk, not being productive because I need to go and find somewhere to cool down. I have a couple of ideas that might help me through this. I think a fan on my desk would help, or if possible, could I be moved closer to a window? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Or, I'm exhausted because of night sweats caused by my menopause, and because I'm so tired, I'm finding it difficult to think clearly, which means it's taking me much longer to make decisions, have faith in my decisions, and get my tasks completed. I was thinking if I could come into work later a couple of days a week, or perhaps work from home. I'd love to hear your thoughts. The last thing you want is to have the conversation without any actions coming from it. Now be prepared that your manager may tell you that they need time to think about what you've told them. Now this may be their first conversation about menopause that they've ever had. But be sure to plan in time for your next meeting to see how things are progressing. So what if your manager isn't someone you feel you can talk to? Perhaps reaching out to another colleague in the company who you can trust and feel comfortable talking to is a solution. Or it could be someone in HR, or there's someone in occupational health. So there you have it. To recap, prior to your meeting, ask yourself, what is the problem? What does the other person think the problem is? Then make your notes so you can prepare what it is you want to say in a clear and simple way. I have a problem. This is how it's affecting me. This is how it's impacting my work. Here's what I need to help with in order to improve my productivity in a suggested time frame. And then follow up. I hope you find these ideas useful so you can feel empowered and more confident to start your menopause conversation with your manager.